All right, folks, bench press day. It's not Monday, so it's not International Bench Press Day. Thursday, October 13th. No, October 12th? Yeah, because tomorrow's Friday the 13th. So, we're going to work all the way through. This is the raw, unedited version. And I've done a couple of warm-up sets so far. I tell you, I'm feeling really beat up, folks. I think the heavy weight is starting to finally show its toll on me. Whatever reason, I went without my compression shirt today. I don't know why. So, we'll load this up. We don't have a spotter today. We won't go too heavy. When I say heavy, too heavy. We'll stop somewhere between 350 and 355. I'll eventually get the Slingshot or fake Slingshot out. We're going to do some flat. I did that last week. I didn't do decline. It actually feels a little awkward after not doing it for, I think, 3 weeks now. So we'll see. And, you know, I think a couple reasons I like to do decline. I actually would prefer to do incline and decline. Not necessarily on the same day, but today we'll do decline and flat. But you know, this works lower chest, you do incline, you do the upper chest. You probably don't need to do flat. But I will do flat today. And who knows what kind of weight we'll lift, because we're probably going to be pretty worn out by the time we get over there. Reminds me. So I am getting set up over here. So once we get done, we'll just pan over to this. And I can never remember what height to put the pegs. I've got one at a different height than the other. And I can already tell this is too low. And the other things are too low too. Let's see here. When I do this, without killing myself? No, I better not do that. So I think we got to go up 2 more on the right side, 1 on the left. That's my left. And then the spotter bars. Up too high. So the spotter bars we'll need to raise up to now. 1 week I put not the hip thruster pad, but like the squat pad on there, and we look kind of dopey. But I actually think, for the sake of if you were to fail in your bench press, that's not such a bad thing to have that on there. All right, let's try this one more time. Probably a little low, but I need a interesting. I need one hole in between the holes that are there. That would make for a perfect. Not sure if the spotter bar is in a good spot. They look a little too low. But all right, so I am still getting over a cold or flu, whatever that was. Oops. Yeah, that didn't feel so great. Might have to go to the Slingshot sooner than later. All right. 225 on here. And we're not doing, you know, a full set yet. Those are coming. So let me try this one more time. Huh. Guess that's the right height, but all right. Starting to warm up a little bit. Oh my gosh, folks, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do our pre-workout. I gotta go do that real quick, come back. All right, so got my Weight Slayer t-shirt on, custom made, Amazon. And one of my channels, I have them up for sale through a different brand or manufacturer, whatever, but not selling a whole lot of them. Not surprising. I wonder even the most popular folks on YouTube, how many they actually sell and why half the stuff, like a lot of it just seems like a, I don't know, stupid product name. Some people would say the same about my YouTube channel name. All right, so let's go ahead. After this, we'll get the other camera going. Now this is obviously a lightweight for this Slingshot, but sure my shoulder's killing me already. I mean, the lighting is horrible. folks. Let's see where you're lined up at. Now, some people say, you know, lighter weight, these type slingshots that are rated for higher will get away from you. I can't say I've really experienced that yet, but maybe I have. I just haven't paid attention to it. All right, we're not quite warmed up. So, I hate the thought of taking all this weight off to drag it to the other side. But that said, I also need to take the weight off of this thing. I don't know if I can. I think my tablet is slightly magnetic. So I'm going to take all this weight off. I did hip thrust the other day. Slowly getting up there, folks, to the getting closer to 3 plates over here. Keep up with the women at the gym, you know. Actually, I don't know if I've seen any that could actually do free weight. Like, yeah, you can do it off the Smith machine, and yeah, your form kind of sucks. You're not really going that deep, but you know, where when you do the barbell one off the floor, you don't really have a choice. At least the first one. It's about as deep as it's gonna ever get. Whew. So, I'll go ahead and throw these 45s on here. One thing I never did was actually weigh these. See how close they are to 45. I could see the rubber ones or whatever ending up being 43, 45, 46, all over the place. Why would that be? Quality control, bad manufacturing processes, lots of reasons. Whew. So, if anybody's worried about me and my heavy breathing, like I said, getting over a cold or flu, and breathing is a little labored. So, let's put this up in the corner. Mark up the wall some more. One day I'll buy one of those units to put all my barbells in. And I think I will actually use this on the bench press today. Because, why not be different? Well, the real reason is my spotter bars are lower than my chest, but higher than my neck, right? So, the one thing when you're bench pressing you want to protect is that neck. Neck, the head, all those are going to be safe. The chest, another story, but we can roll it completely over the gut, or we can roll it, you know, to where it's above the neck and I can slide out, which I did one of the times I was down here lifting. Somewhere I got that on video. I think I was doing 390. So it was not a good day. All right, so body temperature's getting up a little bit. Now, of course, course, if I was at a gym, I would do something to get the body temp up. Like I've said in other videos, exercise bike, not really ideal. Treadmill, not really ideal. Elliptical, you know, gets all this stuff working, right? So that's probably the best one. You know, people could argue that, but if I don't see your argument, I guess I win the argument, right? All right. Now, another thing to note, I feel like I've kind of peaked out again. It's interesting over your weightlifting career. Let's say you've been working out as long as I have since, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. So we're talking, you know, over 3 decades of lifting weights. Maybe somewhere in there I was injured to the point where I wasn't benching, but you hit all these different plateaus. Eventually you get past them, you know. So maybe if you're just flat benching, that's all you're doing, you're going to plateau. How do you get out of that? Maybe you start, you know, going to a gym, working your triceps, maybe strengthen up your shoulders. You know, the back helps quite a bit, obviously, in the beginning of the exercise. You definitely need that tricep block out. Maybe you're doing some flies. Maybe you're doing, you know, various bench press exercises. Throw in close grip too, right? Once again, bulking up triceps a bit more. So, you know, you get stronger. Then maybe you find some supplements in there, right? You know, which ones actually work worth a crap is another story, but, you know, back in the day, unfortunately, I didn't get to take advantage of it, but they had what, androstenedione, which seemed to help, I guess, quite a few people. Then that became illegal. Go figure. And then creatine came in, and that, you know, for most people, that gives you some strength gains. There's all those other things you can buy at the store. Maybe if you put everything in your body, you know, you might get stronger. Eating a lot more protein, you know. Basically, getting your body weight up, taking more calories in. You're going to move, usually you can move more weight, right? So what do you do when you get to, you know, say 34, I don't know, 34 to 38, you're in the prime of your life, you've done everything you can do, you know, that's, at that point, folks, you pretty much plateaued, right, naturally. Maybe, you know, you go do something else, which I've never done, but, you know, go see your local pharmacist, right? Then that might put you through there. Well, fast forward, you know, over 10 years, and there's a new plateau, right? It's based on age, and maybe even some, you know, lower testosterone levels. At that point, you just not going to be able to bench what you used to be able to, right? So that's part of life, and something I, you know, think of every time I'm lifting weights. Oh, I used to do it so much more when I was younger. I gotta get out of that whole phase doing that. All right, let me do the set. So, like the first set, or first rep, was a little awkward, and then you get in that zone with this thing, you start cranking. Alright, getting back to what I was saying though. So, I'm doing the hammer strength row, plate loaded, one of my favorite exercises. Have 5 plates on each side. Yeah, I could probably do more, but fact is, unless you throw a 100-pounder on there, it doesn't really fit any more weight on there. But somebody came by and said, "Oh, you got room for a 6-plate?" And I was like, maybe in my younger days. Of course, he was, you know, just joking like, "Oh, you have 5 plates. Why not put 6?" But in my head, I'm thinking, used to be able to do that. So, yeah, that's the way you get when you're older, folks. Okay. I should take the weight belt off in between sets just so I can breathe. So we could go straight to 315 at this point. I could, just to save time on the flat, go ahead and get that going. I think we'll get 315 on here. Now last week on flat I got 315 for 8 reps with the Slingshot. I think it was the actual Mark Bell one. I can do up to a dozen on the decline. I've never had a spot to do that recently, so that could be a flat out lie, actually. Yeah, so unknown how many people actually watch these videos all the way through. I get a lot of watch hours on them. I'll keep making them. You know, people complain obviously that, hey, you should edit this, but if I get 200 views of a 4-minute video versus 200 views of a hour and 5-minute video, or whatever this comes out to be at the end, which one do you think is going to have more watch time, right? So now, could it be the 4-minute version? You know, might get more views. Yeah, it's always possible. If I made it into a short, could it get more views? Seems these days, unless I do something really ridiculous, it's not going to get more views, or too many views, I should say, for a YouTube short. All right, so the pad is what is that? How thick is that thing? I'd say 3/4 inch to 1 inch. It's probably make life a little bit easier. Now the good news is we can go straight to 225. Now that we've done that. All right, so this was my YouTube short camera, but I don't think the light's going to be so friendly looking at it from this direction. Yeah, that sucks. Bummer. Alright. I guess we'll come over here. We'll come to the right side of this. Okay. Then I usually edit the YouTube shorts out of that. So you may find these videos on 2 channels. You'll find a different variation of it, different view. I'm still working on, hey, what's the best camera angle? All right, so I add in my 3rd camera. Probably can't see all the weight plates, but there are 345s on here. Standard, BTX, cap. Yesterday was Prime Day, and I probably should have honestly, I thought about picking up another cap. I wouldn't mind, actually wouldn't mind having 3 sets of them, so they're all the same freaking diameter, and I think they'd make these videos look better, right? Like when you go to a real gym, usually all the weight plates match, unless it's an older one that's mixed plates, but you know, it doesn't matter for working out, not really. Now I throw a bunch of bumper plates on here, it might, especially if you know, start going this way. But otherwise, probably not making as much of a difference. So yeah, I would have liked to have added that. I did purchase a 60-pound dumbbell to complete my my set, right, on the dumbbell rack. We've been doing a few more things recently. Some incline bench with those. We've been doing military. And so I had to skip over. I did 45, 50, and then I had to do homemade 60s, which are on the floor down here. You probably see them by the bike. And then I did 70s standing, just because I didn't want to have to sit with all that weight. But, you know, eventually we'll get to doing a good set with the 70s for military press, maybe even the 80s. You know, if I'm rocking the 80s a bunch, maybe we go 90s. I mean, if you can build up those stabilizing muscles, shouldn't be as far off what I can do on the military press and the power cage. Right now we're significantly off. I did 205 for 8, so that would be like doing 100-pound dumbbells, right? We don't have hundreds, obviously, and I don't even know if I can get them up there. And I swing. I've got 90s up there, and I jacked up my back the time I did it. So that's one of those things you never find out if you can do. All right. So we will try and get at least 8. This will be the first real set, I think. Felt like a damn good set, folks. You know, in my head, I'm counting way higher than I actually get. So, case in point, lots of times I've been like, oh, I did 12 reps. I got 9 when I play it back. Who knows what we did there, but the reality is, back in the day, we could do close to that on a sets without the bench. There's Slingshot. And who knows how many we could do with the actual spotter. Probably, you know, tack one more on there. Oh yeah, one more thing. Never another cough drop. Yeah, I think the other thing would be if we, not only we had a spotter, but we did either elbow sleeves or we did the elbow wraps. We'd lift more. Take that off so I can breathe. And we'll do a 185 set over here. In the flat in between So nothing worse than when I screw up and don't record. Don't record. Like I'll record over here and then I'll come back and I'll forget to switch the cameras back. Now, why am I doing these in between sets? Still relatively lightweight, and we're when I come over and do flat, I just want to go straight to the, hopefully the heavy after I'm done over here. Otherwise, I would not do it this way. And yes, I have the little pad on here to protect my chest. Actually, that's in case I fail. It's really for later on. All right. So, now if I had more 45-pound bumper plates, I would go ahead and put them on there. I don't like the way this feels though, is the, you know, center of gravity, center of mass is going to be in the same spot regardless of what 45s you put on it, but unless you put 3 bumper plates on this side, 3 smaller ones over there, you would see a shift. Which if your left arm was stronger than your right, maybe that might help you out a little bit. That's you know, basic physics there, right? So all these weights have a center of mass, center of gravity, and there's formulas that you can add all that shit together, figure out exactly where the center of mass is. But if you're, you know, you have all your weight going way out here versus over here, let's say you just have 1 plate, but the weights equal each other, this is going to throw things off because just looking at this area, its center is over here somewhere where that one's closer to the bar, so the center of mass shifts off the center of the bar. It's a lot easier to do in CAD software. Maybe I'll show that one time. Because not everybody, you know, has got multiple engineering degrees and all that shit, right? But we could draw, you may have seen, I've drawn 3D model of weight plates in a barbell. What I didn't assign it though was material properties. But if we were to do, you know, basically for the hell of it, show, hey, it doesn't matter whether you have bumper plates on both sides or steel plates on both sides, center, you know, mass, center of gravity is going to be the same exact spot. But if you put bumper plates on one side, steel plates on the other, that's another story, right? Now, who's dumb enough to work out like that? I don't know. So, we fucking cranked out 315 over here. I mean, that was Sam Sulek quality there, right? In case you guys haven't checked him out, you know, he's a college-age kid, strong as you know what. Got to be on something, though he never talks about it. I haven't figured out what college he's going to. Saw a big M on some of the weights, so I'm almost thinking maybe he's up there in Maryland. Or what other college starts with an M? I don't know. Didn't look like Michigan. Whew. So, could throw on 10-pound jump just does not seem like a good jump, folks. Let's grab the 15-pounders. This will make for a more interesting looking JPEG. Yeah. Unless you read the outside of that looks like a lot more weight. Now somewhere around here we do have a black 45. Alright, so that's going to be 345. And like I said, we cranked out 315. Otherwise, I probably would not jump up 30 pounds. This may be the last set over on this side. I knew what time it was. I'm sure. About 8:30. I got maybe 30 minutes left. I got an appointment at 9 o'clock. All right. So yeah, looks like a shit ton of weight. We should get a better angle of that, huh? Like dun 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 dun. My JPEG. We could actually put, I have another 15-pounder. We could actually put another 15 on there. That would make for one hell of a great looking JPEG, right? All right. So, folks, my birthday is coming up shortly. It was awesome. Getting older. Doing pretty good for an old guy, though. So I think with a spotter, 5 reps would be a good number. Maybe, maybe not so smart. Actually make more sense, folks, if I did 330 and try to get 8 reps or something versus all this weight. But this is what it is. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot, folks. We gotta take colors out. This is that range where this shit'll fuck you up. Right? So we don't want to get fucked up. All right. So there'll be some sliding. This bar has a tendency. It has a real loose fit, so that's not such a good thing either. So that collars would have been good. Yeah, 6 days ahead of me. So when your arms get bigger, folks, these slingshots get harder and harder to put on, and they hurt more. All right, let's see here. Find the ring. Sam, catching up to you, buddy. Sort of. We have to use this to cheat, but so check out how much that fucking weight shifted on me. I knew it wasn't feeling so good. That could have been bad, right? That's why it's best to have a spotter. Whew. I think that was 6 reps. Whether that was exactly 345 or not, it's another story. But I honestly felt like I could, if I was doing half reps down here, I could have did 10, I think, but I actually have to lock that shit out where you're not getting any help from the training aid. Oh my God, you can really feel the pump in the tricep. I think that is one of the awesome things about this, allowing you to hit heavier weight than your triceps normally would see. Now, that Slingshot, buy the one that's meant for you. That's meant for a much stronger version of me. The 34-year-old version of me would be using that. Ego reasons. I bought that. I need to go down. That's level 5. I need to do level 3 or 4. But, yeah. That's fucking impressive, though. Whew. But yeah, if I had a spotter, we got 7. No doubt. And, yeah, it's tempting to take off some weight. Take off some weight and do 330. But we'll say that for another time. All right, we got to switch sides and do the flat. Now, there was that flip challenge. I hope you guys saw that. You know, can you flip a 45-pound plate and catch it? That's where those guys had been using fake weights. I was able to do a 10-pounder, that 15. There's no way in hell I could do 25s as thick as the ones I have are. But for those guys to do 45, just, I don't know if I'm buying it. All right. Now, not a huge deal to drag these weights across from one side of the gym to the other, but that would be another reason. It would be nice to have 45s on that side. Right? Is that just like getting lazy, old and lazy? To be like, hey, I need more weights. I don't want to drag these over. All right, folks, so we're getting set up over here. And if you haven't bought your Weight Slayer tank top, check out my other channel where you can purchase it. Unfortunately, I can't give you a direct link on Amazon. That would have been awesome if I could. I'm sure somebody out there would love to have this shirt. So, like I said, we're gonna go straight to 225. Oh yeah, let me do some Sam Sulik posing over here. It's only for one camera. See how shit's looking. Doesn't look that great, folks. The lighting. It's gotta be, oh, that's right. This light screwing it up. Lighting's everything. We'll be back on this camera here in a moment. Yeah. So you can see we're getting definitely some shoulder definition in there that we haven't had in a long time. Now if I dropped We got back to 250. Right now we're at 267, 272, somewhere in there. That would be all ripped up, but unfortunately, we're fat. And we're kind of happy being fat. I know people, will comment that, hey, you should lose some weight. But as long as I can pick my fat ass up off the ground, I'm okay with it. Now, when the doctor tells me to lose weight, which they do, or they've told me, hey, you shouldn't lift so much weight at your age. That's true. You got to keep the heart strong, right? So as long as we're doing cardio, maybe we'll be okay. And then someday we'll have to, this weightlifting journey will, as far as going heavy goes, it's going to have to come to an end. So, I could do this without the sling, but I think we're going to go with the sling. And then we'll probably just go straight to 315 from here. I can't imagine getting any more warmed up than I am. So, put the pad on. Not quite full range of motion. Now, the one thing about that, though, is, the professional powerlifters, they will obviously arch their back, hit their big fat bellies, and not all of them have big fat bellies, but some of them do. And very short range of motion. Don't get that good stretch on the chest. But obviously they don't quite need it. So we did 8 reps last time. This is, I think, the VTX bar, so I know for a fact it's 45. Let's put I don't want to go up too much. I was almost thinking 5 pounds, but we can milk these videos. I've got 1/4 pound plates. These are pounders, so we'll do 3 sets and try and get 8. If I get 8 of this, then we've made progress. Of course, the last time I did it was without the pad, but whatever. I will probably always do flat with this pad in case the weight does come down on my chest and I have to keep it there for a moment until I roll it off of me, or I roll it over my neck. I wonder, with that extra padding, and I roll it over my neck, if that'll actually choke me out. That would suck, right? Like, hey, you come up with this great idea to, if I had to rest the weight on my chest. And next thing you know, you're like, oh, I failed. Now I roll down on my neck and I've just choked myself out. That would not be so good. All right. Yeah, if I could design this differently, I would probably, if I could raise the cage or the bench up to a 1/2 inch, I think. So either the power cage go up a 1/2 inch or the bench drop down a 1/2 inch. Now, if I didn't have the carpet, well, if I had, never mind. There's no way to get the bench shorter unless, you cut the legs off, which would not work. So the power cage, that could be raised up. just by building a platform for it to sit on. And that probably would solve my problem. That would also get this weight up a half inch higher, which would be better for me to get it off. Going up 3 inches, which I think is the spacing on these, might be 2 to 3 inches, whatever that spacing is. That would be too much. So, and ideally, of course, folks, you'd have a spotter, right? If you have a spotter, then you don't have that problem. All right, here we go. 317. Feeling pretty warmed up. Try and get, I'm just going to say 6 to 8. Yep. Well, that was either 7 or was 9. I don't know. So I found a good spot, which I think it ended up being, you know, originally I was lower, and then I got it in a groove there where I was powered up, but there's some bounce in there probably, right? Now I will say, folks, I'll probably never ever say I'm a professional weightlifter, powerlifter, right? Because we know that's not true. I did win 2 bench press competitions, the only 2 that I've ever entered. Back when I was, let's see, that would have been 11 years ago. So I was still in my 30s. Well, I heard a cat trying to get in. I'll be back. I gotta check the time. What are you doing out here? less than 10 minutes left, folks. Sorry about the delay. Man. That felt absolutely powerful as you know what, right? And the real question is, I do not know what I've done successfully. I know what I failed at. I either failed at 385 or 390. Convincingly failed. So I think we're gonna try 375. Anybody that can bench 317 for 7 and 9 reps, can get 365. I'm gonna get 375. Actually, I think if you do the calculators, 9 reps at 315 or 8 reps is 400. But the truth is, folks, that the truth is that using the bench sling, I don't think it accurately factors in here because your tricep is what really has to do the locking out. Now, the other problem is getting this freaking weight off the rack. Make sure these are locked down. Oh, you know what? Just so we don't... I've had these things pop out when I drop the weight on them. So I'll do that. I love this power rack, except it's not deep enough and it could be better quality. But beyond that, it is an incredible piece of equipment. Alright, so if we can get this off the rack, there's nothing stopping us from making an attempt here, folks. And I'm going to bring my grip in a little bit because I don't want to rip my pec. Oh, man. All right, that was close. But that basically is my max. 375 on the flat. You saw that weight did not want to go up. We powered through it. Holy shit. Now I have benches over 400 when I was younger, but it's still a great feeling. Even at this age, flopping up something. I think I'll do 395 and call it a day. A little wider grip, 395. Good friggin' set. Yeah, so decline, we have on video, I think it was a 381 lift. Easy, like, nothing like what you just saw, right? I mean, I blew 381 off my chest, or powered it off my chest, and then I was like, after I did, I'm like, God, I probably got 10, 15 pounds left in me, right? But I had the old lady spot me, and I didn't really, can't say I trust her to save my life. She might, go, hey, if I don't save him, I can collect his life insurance, right? Just kidding. She wouldn't do that. But reality is, when you're lifting that much weight and asking somebody that weighs 130 pounds, 5'7" or 5'8", maybe 5'6", I don't know, to spot you, that reality is they are not going to save your life unless, you just need a couple pounds of assistance. So I figured when I did 381, I wouldn't have any problem with it. But folks, you can see, if I were to put those videos side by side, this was a hell of a lot harder. Not only getting off the rack was harder, but just the overall drive to get it, lock it out. And I can't wait to watch the video because, you see that sticking point where it's like, oh shit, I'm not going to get it. Just enough momentum to get the triceps, And I don't have weak triceps, but just enough to get those triceps to kick in. All right, I got to get this set in. I don't like to be rushed. I like to recover. All right, we finished our pre-workout on our last set, which does us absolutely no good. So, what have we learned today, folks? I had a pretty good workout, even with this upper respiratory problem I got right now. And we know we can at least do 375, potentially 377. I don't think 380's in the cards right now. I'll have to keep lifting heavy, folks, to get, to push those barriers, which may mean doing some negatives down here, get the spotter bars out, doing some, shorter range of motion with the spotter bars higher, just trying to get used to the heavier weight. All right, here we go. All those weren't necessarily great reps, but they're still pretty damn good. Maybe a little bounce. You can tear apart everything, right? But as long as the muscle is getting worked, time under tension, getting something out of it. Now if I start bragging about, hey, I just did 295 for a dozen, 15, 20, whatever, then yeah, that might not be too accurate. Thanks for checking out the video, folks. Please like, please subscribe.